to Sleep ASMR. So, it's pretty much the same as my normal Let Me Bore You to Sleep, except I'm whispering. I suppose that's it. That's the difference. So, only listen when you can safely close your eyes. I hope you're well. Just to let you know that my website is jasonnewland.com. There's a little bit of background sound in the background. The councillor, they're cutting the grass and trimming the hedges and stuff like that, so I'm not sure whether they're going to be in my garden, but they're like around at the moment, so we will see. If it does start getting noisy, then I'll just have to cut the recording short. What I think I would do today is have a little look through the news, because it's still morning time here. So I'm going to use Press Reader, the app. You know, I got Press Reader and I got a free week. So I signed up. I forgot about it. So I've paid for the month, which is about £27 or something like that. Crazy. So let's just have a look at the date. Let's have a look at the Wall Street Journal. The problem with this is the problem with reading newspapers online, especially when I haven't actually looked at it first, is it's not always easy to find stuff that's light-hearted. Oh, this is something that interests me. So this is the Wall Street Journal, Thursday the August 2022, and it says volume CCLXXX. Who knows that? Who knows what that means? Is that for Romans, in case it gets sent back in time, or they find a Roman in ice, defrost him and say, okay, here's something to read. And they say, I don't like that one. It doesn't have my numerals. What do you mean? The Roman numerals. The Roman numerals. And they say, oh, it's okay. The Wall Street Journal's got the Roman numerals in it. Okay. CCLXXX. How pretentious it is. This is the US edition. I'd have thought that all of the Wall Street Journal would be a US edition. It's an American newspaper. Oh well. It's not US. It gets printed all around the world. Okay, fair enough. So, this is something that I saw on the news yesterday in the UK of England, Commonwealth Britain, and it's about NASA sending another rocket into space to return to the moon after something like 50 years. 50 years. Which makes me wonder, did they really land on the moon? 'Cause I'm thinking, they put that much effort into landing on the moon in, was was it, 1969? I was born in 1970. Yeah, I know, I know. It's fine. Very youthful. Yeah. Yes, fine, it's okay. You don't have to, no, all your compliments. Ouch. And they're sending a rocket in. Big old rocket. See, I'm not really into conspiracies. I'm not like a conspiracy buff. And I was talking to my friend yesterday, and I said to him, you know what? What I'd really like is for there to be an amnesty on bullshit. So that every country, every secret agency, around the world, all just came forward and said, this is what is real. This is what we've really discovered. Here's a spaceship that we discovered, or we never discovered a spaceship. It was all just lies. Just have an amnesty for bullshit and just come forward and say, there you go. So we can just see for ourselves, and if there is extraterrestrials, and if there is a potential of problems in the future from a more superior race, then surely that could bring the world together. Together. We could all get together instead of aim those missiles, instead of like that upwards as opposed to at each other. You know what I mean? Just an idea. Not that I think that we should aim missiles anywhere. It's weird. But yeah, I'd love to know. I just want to know what the truth is. And before you all shout out, you can handle the truth. Maybe. But I'm fascinated by it. But I'm not obsessed. I just want to know what the truth is. I don't care about. It seems to me a lot of the conspiracy stuff is mixed with truth. And then fantasy. And I can't dissect between because I don't have the access to the information. Plus, I don't have the motivation to go looking for that information because, I'm sure there's lots of information available. But then how true is it? How real is it? Really, if you want to have a really good laugh, go on YouTube and just look up interviews with people from the Flat Earth Society. It's funny. It's like really funny. And some of the arguments they give make sense. It's weird. I'd just like to say another thing. I've only got like 639 subscribers. So thank you to each one of you for subscribing. And most of you, when you subscribed, I had a lot of my old recordings on there. Hundreds and hundreds of recordings from the past. As well as a lot of podcasts, like just the audio and stuff like that. And some videos of podcasts. Well, what I've done is I've got rid of everything except the most popular video that I've had for forever. I've kept that. Try and stay awake hypnosis challenge, and that's my most popular video that I've had on the various different YouTube channels over the years, because I stopped really putting too much energy into YouTube in about 2014. So now this is almost like a little comeback, because the podcasts that I do are going really well. So I've been focusing more just on the audio side of things, just making podcasts, and the good thing is I don't have to, there's less preparation. You know, I don't have to get all made up and make my hair look nice and everything like now. So, although there's only, I think, like 4 videos on my YouTube channel at this moment, on the Thursday the 18th of August 2022, my aim, and I'm not sure why, but my aim is to make regular recordings, make regular videos, and basically record my podcasts as a video, as well as a podcast, and continue daily to do this. So to do a Let Me Bore You to Sleep daily, to do a deep sleep whisper every day. This is a new thing. It's not a new thing, I've done it before, but it's generally something that I don't normally do, which is Let Me Bore You to Sleep whisper version. I don't do that. This is, to me, I have done it, but I didn't call it the Let Me Bore You to Sleep. They were just whisper vlogs that I did in the past. So I thought that maybe I could do like a morning Let Me Bore You to Sleep whisper one, like my morning, and perhaps go through the news, but only nice, kind of, at the very least, neutral stories. Nothing horrible. I don't want to talk about that stuff. If you want that, just watch the news. I want my podcasts and my videos to be a nice space, you know. Maybe I can be a little bit of company to those that are on their own, or I'm on my own. So I'm company for myself. I think I'm pretty good company for myself. That sounded weird when I said it out loud. So it's basically just me, cup of tea. I'm trying not to show my armpits too much. And it's also a podcast, so even though only a few people will watch the videos for now, a lot more people will be listening to the podcast on the various podcasts I post it. So thank you to everybody for listening or for watching. And I'm not sure if I said it already, but only listen or watch when you can safely close your eyes. I hope I did say that. I normally do. Trust me, I've been saying it for 16, 17 years. Sometimes I'll forget, but I do try and remember to say it. That's just in case you fall asleep. So, I guess I just wanted to say that part of the process, part of why I'm doing this is to help you to maybe relax a little bit. So by making a video that lasts for maybe half an hour maybe, depending on the noise in the background depending upon the camera if it runs out. I don't know if I've got enough energy to last an hour. Hopefully, not in me, but in that thing. And I've got a food delivery at 1 o'clock, so yeah, that's fine. It's 3 minutes past 12 now. I couldn't believe it last night. Well, yesterday afternoon, about, I don't know, is 6 o'clock in the afternoon? Is it afternoon or evening? It's that cut-off point, isn't it? For me, it kind of turns into evening. And in the winter, it's definitely evening because it's dark outside. But 5 o'clock, it's dark outside, but it's still afternoon in the winter. And like the deep winter, like January time, it starts getting dark sometimes 2:30, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's still afternoon. So 6 o'clock is kind of the evening, isn't it? I think so. Anyway, yesterday, just after 6 p.m, I went to the shop, the local shop. I need to buy a few little bits. What did I get? I got a couple of packs of Cokes, a couple of brownie bars. They're nice, they're really good. I can't show you because I don't have one on me. Well, I can, but I'm going to have to wait till I poo it out. But that's wrong. I don't know why I said that, sorry. I can show you. Imagine that. Oh, I'll show you tomorrow. Oh, wait a minute. So it keeps its colour through the whole process. It does. It's nice though. It's really like crispy and soft. It's like a mixture. And normally, when I go to that shop, it's usually just a bunch of crap. There's nothing nice in a way, like like in a bakery, or if you get something from the supermarket and it's nice quality stuff. In that little shop, it's got branded stuff, but some of the other stuff is just a bit nothing bad, but just not much choice really. But it's not supposed to be choiceful. It's supposed to be expensive, and it is. But you can get 2 brownies. These bars are about that long, so that's 12 inches. And I think it's 2 for £2, which is good value. Or is it £3 or something like that? So I come out, I buy what I needed. I come out, and then I thought, wait a minute, I need some coffee, because at the bare minimum, I like to have 1 cup of coffee a day when I wake up. I like with my breakfast. A cup of tea doesn't do the job. A nice cup of coffee, it's just what I like. Sometimes I'll have 2 cups of coffee in a day, but never more than that, because it sends me weird. It does, it has a weird effect on me. But generally, a nice cup of coffee first thing in the morning with my breakfast. And I eat ready bread usually with dried fruit, like raisins and stuff like that on top. Not sugar. Although I ran out, so I had to have some sugar this last few days. But I've got some... if you ever wonder to yourself, why is it called Let Me Bore You to Sleep? Just listen to what I'm talking about. for like a bowl of milk, and that's how long it takes for it to be ready. Trial and error came to this conclusion. I boil the kettle. Sometimes I put the coffee into the cup first, or the mug. That reminds me, I need to buy myself a bigger mug, because I seem to be like, this isn't a particularly big cup of tea. If you can see, look, there's tea in there. It's not whiskey. I can't drink whiskey. I wish I could, but I can't. I have done. In fact, that's not totally true, because it is true that I have done. But what is it, Jack Daniels? I can drink Jack Daniels, but that's not. It doesn't taste anything like whiskey to me. It's different taste. And out of all the spirits, because I don't mean polar ghosts and stuff like that, weedy balls and stuff. No, what I'm talking about is, what am I talking about? Can you hear that in the background? Trimmers. Yeah. 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 Continuous. Well, it's not continuous because it keeps stopping, but then again, then again, then again. Yeah, whiskey. I'm not really a fan. So when I was about 16, 17, I lived on my own in a flat above the chip shop that I worked in. That's when I was 16. So I moved in there 1987. I think it was like end of March. And I was 16 at the end of the August before. So I was 16 and a half, I guess. Is that August, September, October, November, December, January, February? Yeah, just over 16 and a half years old. I remember moving in there because it's quite a big deal, really, having my own home for the first time. And that Christmas, so that'd be 1987 Christmas, I remember that I think it was a bottle of, it might have been Malibu, or a bottle of Bacardi, and about 8 cans of lager. And that's what I was drinking Christmas Eve. And I remember just hanging about. And there was I might have been invited to Christmas dinner somewhere, but I didn't go. And I ended up having Christmas dinner with one of the customers of the chip shop. Seriously, can you believe it? I was just walking around drunk, and one of the customers said, pulled me in. He said, "Are you okay?" I said, yeah. He said, what are you doing? Wandering the streets? And I said, yeah. I said, I don't know. I wasn't drunk, just merry, I guess. This was Christmas Day, but there was no more shops open. I couldn't get any more alcohol, so I didn't have much left. And they invited me back, him and his wife, and I knew their son. He was probably a couple of years older than me, so I ended up having Christmas dinner with them. And it's weird because I didn't appreciate it. I didn't. I think I said, "Thanks for the grub. Where's the pies?" I think at one point was saying to me just before I left, why did you think there'd be a present under the tree for you? And why did you have to open all of them to find it? Why would there be one? We didn't know you were coming. I don't know. And I left. So I pretty much ruined their Christmas day, I suppose, but hopefully not. I was a kid. I was 16. I was pretty about the same height I am now. 7'4". But I was skinny, like skinny as skinny can be. Like absolutely like a little child, really. I wasn't much really. I was like instead of 16, I was more like a 13, 14-year-old. I was very immature, very tight, very petite, wasn't really very well developed. I mean, everything worked, but some would say too quickly. But, but I was just tiny. I was not mentally mature and I wasn't physically matured. Some would say no 16-year-olds are, but I would disagree with that. Some 16-year-olds, some 10-year-olds look like men. Even at school they did. There was this kid at school, and even in primary school, even in junior school, when I was 10, he was a man. I was going to say he had hair in all the right places, but that sounds a bit weird. He was a man. He was big. Seriously, in the first year of high school, he was as big as my dad. And my dad's a big man, big bloke. He was his size, but he didn't know it. He was almost like a St. Bernard that doesn't know how big they are. 'Cause I used to have a St. Bernard when I was a kid. A St. Bernard dog, that is, not the chocolate bar, I don't know, whatever else a St. Bernard might be. And I didn't own a person called St. Bernard. I didn't keep a human in a cage. I'm going to call you St. Bernard. Now dance for me. Nothing like that. And I used to take her name was Misty. I used to take her for a walk, and she was so big, I couldn't handle her. And she used to get scared of other dogs that were like tiny. I suppose to her she probably thought it was a rat, but she didn't know how big she was. She didn't understand the concept. I was a bit like that with my belly. Like I knew I hadn't seen parts of my body for quite a while, so I knew I had a belly. And then one day I got undressed. I figured I had to eventually. And I saw myself in the mirror. And I was in this position where I was running from one room to another. And it was a mirror that I hadn't seen before. I wasn't at home, I was somewhere else. And I couldn't believe, like, that's not me. No. Turns out it wasn't. I was in someone else's bedroom. No, it was me. I was like, no, that's bad. A similar thing happened with my top of my head. I got a bald patch. Now, I knew I had a little bit of a bald patch because I did a video a couple of years back and I bent over to a fart or something, and I was like, what the hell is that? It's almost like during the night someone's come in and just gently shaved a little circle, a little crop show circle. It's an alien. I thought there'd be an alien spacecraft in there somewhere, but there's nothing. Unless it embedded in my brain. But I did not realise how bad it is, or how staying in a hotel recently, and it had mirrors all around, so I could look ahead of me and see the back of my head. I was not happy. I just really, really not impressed. And I don't understand it because I've always had a thick bit, like big hair. Not big hair, but like thick and curly hair. Whenever it gets past a certain length, it's curly and frizzy and stuff. Not no more. It's just, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I mean, it's just hair. And you know what? For years and years and years, I shaved my head. Pretty much every year for 20 years. At least once a year, I shave my head completely bald. Sometimes regularly, but I've been doing it for 20 years. Since 2003, so nearly 20 years. And now, I always had that idea in my head that if I ever went bald, it wouldn't matter because I spent a lot of my time as an adult bald. I was wrong. Completely wrong. So I was sitting in a chair, so I'm not using my legs, so it wouldn't matter if I lost one. No, it would. As an extreme example, but it's like, just because I'm not using it now doesn't mean you won't want it later. I miss my hair. It's bald, I'm going bald. And I'm worried that I'm going to be one of those people that has thick, because I've got quite thick hair when it gets longer, thick curly hair all the way around with this little helicopter landing patch on the top. I'm not worried that helicopters will try and land on it, but just, I don't know. I don't want it. I don't want that. So there. Oh yeah, so NASA, bloody hell, NASA's sending a rocket into space. And part of, I don't know when, August the 29th, liftoff for an unscrewed lunar test flight. Not uncrewed, lunar test flight. I was going to say if it's unscrewed, the thing will fall apart, won't it? I'm pretty sure they're sending a goat up there. So I'll be interested. I want to watch it. Okay. I'm just trying to find something interesting. US. Oh, it's funny. Enoch, not Enoch. Enoch. What's his name? The richest man in the world. Who makes the electric cars? Elok. Ulok. You know the man anyway. He posted on Twitter that he was going to buy Manchester United. was just joking, and apparently a lot of people are upset. Oh well. Okay. So that's that. That's that front page. I'll go away. Coursing's pace of increases. Oh, there's a picture of what is this? Federal Reserve officials agreed their monetary policy meeting. Oh. Retail spending is steady. Yeah. Yeah. That's good. That's good news. I don't know much about that stuff. But okay, what's the next page? Elon Musk, that's it. I've not seen it. My brain remembered me. Companies must pay millions. Federal officials are cracking down. Prosecutors sue. Oh, blimey. FDA. It's very difficult to sales. Okay, sales surge expected from Bill's incentives. Climate law provides tax breaks, rebates to upgrade heating and cooling systems. That's good. What is this? Rabbit's feet. Meadow donned a creative outfit for the bunny costume. What? Wow. Ba-bum bum bum. Cut book deal money. This is nice. Well, for him anyway. Former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo doesn't have to pay back the money he earned from a $5.1 million book deal after a New York State judge Tuesday dismissed an earlier order. Is that a proper sentence? After a New York State judge Tuesday dismissed. There's no apostrophe or anything. What was the book? It's a memoir published October 2020 about how Mr. Cuomo handled okay. Oh, here's another bit about the NASA moon rocket. The moon rocket arrived at the launch pad in Cape Canaveral on Wednesday ahead of its debut flight in less than 12 weeks. Ah, cool. So you get it said you paid for extra legroom. Do you get anything else? Carry on, Dawn Gilbertson. Many of us wonder whether we should splurge on those cushier economic seats near the front of the plane, blah blah blah. Oh dear. Apple gadgets to buy or skip right now. Oh, they don't seem to like the Apple Watch here. iPhone, iPads, iMacs. Okay. Apple TV. I've got Apple TV, it's quite good. So she's this woman, personal technology, Joanna Stern. She's given her opinion on what to buy and what not to buy. iPhones, no, nope, 9 yet. No iPhone buying right now. Unless it's the new iPhone SE. It's the last remaining iPhone iPhone with a home button. I don't know who Joanna or Jonah Stone is, so I don't know what she's talking about. iPads. But you know what an iPhone is, don't you? Yeah, I know, but I don't. If someone's a critic or a reviewer of technology, you need to get to know where they're coming from, and if you kind of agree with what they say generally, so then when you see something new and you're like, oh, I'm going to take her word for it. iPads. Okay, Apple Watch. Nope. I don't care. The boss is in it. This is an advert here. Dow Jones News Fund. Journalists don't just write stories. They make them up. They create them. No, so it doesn't say that. They record history. And they cause trouble. I find it funny when you see a journalist get promoted and then they're on television interviewing people, and the way they all try and be clever and try and make the interviewee look silly, like live on TV, and how often they fail. I do find it mildly amusing, because I think they seem to forget that when they interview someone that gets interviewed all the time, the interviewee is expecting the person on television to be like trying to make them look ridiculous or to catch them out. Sports. Wow, got all the way to the sports. There was nothing I could read out that was of any niceness, really, at all. Sports, just one page of sports, really? How can it be only one page of sports? But opinion, there's three opinion pages. Oh, business and finance. I guess Wall Street Journal is going to have a bit of that in it. Let's see if there's any nice things. Amazon searches for film executive. This is by Erich Schwartzel and Jessica Tungel. Amazon.com Inc. is searching for a senior movie studio executive to help lead its growing entertainment division, turning to rivals for a chance to poach an experienced Hollywood player. Okay, that's it really. I'll tell you what I watched today. It's She-Hulk on Disney Plus. It's okay. It's kind of I love that. I don't know if you can hear that in the background. It's not a moo moo cow. It's a trimmer. I thought it was okay. It's some funny bits in it, in She-Hulk. But it's kind of doesn't seem to be aimed at adults. It seems to be more aimed, like specifically aimed at young, or I don't know, like teenagers slash children, but like not adults. It's sort of, but there are some funny bits. Like a lot of the Disney stuff, the Marvel films and TV shows, they do have comedy in them, which is good. That's what I like. One of the things I like about it. Yet the DC movies seem to sometimes take themselves way too seriously. Sometimes. Seems to. Sports bet firms curtail marketing. Well, that's a good thing if we see less adverts for betting firms. Sports betting companies are revisiting their game plans. Gambling operators have been pouring hundreds of millions of dollars into the pursuit of new customers, as more states have adopted online sports betting. Now, those companies are under pressure to rein in spending because they have said they plan to turn a profit next year. So, from that, I take it that these online gambling companies have spent all their money and pumped every bit of money that's coming into them back on advertising. So they decided to spend less on advertising and actually have a profit. And I realised that's just what I read out. It's just repeating what I've already just been told. Yeah. But it's like, okay, cool. Because you imagine they might have $1 billion coming in and spending $1 billion, or after they might have, I don't know, 100 million that they have to spend, or 30 million to spend for the year on running the thing, and then they spend the rest on advertising. If they just have a year off advertising, that's $1 billion profit. Not bad for a Sunday lunch. Sports betting has exploded across the UK after a Supreme Court ruling in 2018 cleared the way for states to establish sports wagering. Sports betting has been legalised in 36 states, and the District of Columbia nationwide sports betting generated. Okay, so there's a full stop there, sorry. Columbia nationwide sports betting generated about $3 billion in the first half of 2022, up about 66% from the first half of last year. So it's still quite a small business in America. I mean, I remember, is it 365 betting? Their profits, absolutely huge profits. Now they're not just a UK company, but they're not just based in the UK. They're on lines as worldwide, I guess. That is where the real money is, I think. Betting websites, apps and stuff. Blimey. I mean, in my country, I think gambling and betting is fine. We have betting shops. There are places where there's casinos, but that's like a special regulated thing. But actual betting shops, you can just go in and you can watch. There's TV screens all around, and you can watch like horse racing or dog racing live as it happens, so you can put a bet on. Now, it's been a long time since I went into one of these things, but I think they used to get a lot of their money from the machines that they had in there, the gambling machines. And then the online thing came along. So quite often it was almost like well planned. There'd be a bookies, which is a betting shop, next door to a pub, and then maybe there'd be a cafe, somewhere to eat next door to that. So it's almost like everything's there. So someone who likes that lifestyle, who wants to drink, make a bet, has something to eat, go back and collect their winnings and spend that on alcohol in the pub, or go back into the pub to drown their sorrows from losing or whatever. And it used to be a place where people would congregate, a certain type of a group of people that liked that lifestyle. I've known people that's all they did. They'd be all day in the pub and the betting shop, between the two. And they were happy, so hey, good for them. Not really I can see it'd be fun to do maybe once a week. If you're good at gambling, if you know how to do it, but I've never really made much of an attempt. I think I was quite lucky because when I was a kid, I was about 14. Probably about 14. And my brother, who was 18, he spent all his money gambling. So he was trying to, it wasn't that, he needed money and he was short of money, and I couldn't help him out because I was 14. I just laughed at him. No, I didn't. And he made a bet, and he bet. I remember him coming to me and said, I've bet all my money, which at that time he probably had like £20, wasn't a lot, but he lost it all, and he'd bet it on a horse race or something like that. And I remember seeing him, how it affected him, and I thought, nah, there's no point. That's just, what's the point in that? And I had another friend that I used to live with in the 1990s, and he was addicted to gambling. That was his thing. But the reason really was he had a really, really big win at the dogs, and he won like 30 grand. And he spent the rest of his life chasing that. Well, not the rest of his life, but the next 10 years or whatever. Because at that time he was only 30, so it might have been, I don't know how many years, but he had a huge win. And sometimes he would win as well, but generally I don't think so. It was, it's great. You might have £5,000 or dollars. I've won $5,000, yeah, but how much did you lose the rest of the year? 15. So yeah, you got $5,000 in your hand. But it doesn't mean anything if you've lost 15,000 in the last 7 months. You know what I mean? So yeah, you get me, innit? Dogged, despite spending my life in a I might get myself a dog. Moderno, WSJ, the future of everything. It's an advert here. The future of style. How are high-tech materials and AI changing the way we shop and what we buy? How are legacy fashion brands thinking about inclusivity and the metaverse's impact on how they design, market and sell? Metaverse. Join us for a wide-ranging conversation with industry leaders about what's next for the business of style. There's no point me. I mean, look what I wear. I'm the least stylish person in the entire metaverse. I really am. I've got no sense of style. That was an advert for something. Look, Amazon tests TikTok style portal. That's interesting. This interests me. I've never been so excited. App feature would let users share a photo and video stream of products to sell. Wow. You know what? I see a business idea there. I really do. Oh man. Okay, so even Amazon.com wants to be a little like TikTok. It's testing a feature in its app that would show users a TikTok style photo and video feed of products for shoppers to share with other users. It's about time, really, isn't it? I mean, some of the Amazon do have a video and stuff where you can see, but it's not personal. It's very generic. How cool would it be for someone to say, "Hey," I don't know what that means, but like, look what I've got to sell. I don't know what I'd sell, but like, look at this microphone. Because you know how sexy I am. And I know that I'd sell nothing, but if someone was a tiny little bit sexier than me, they could probably pull it off. Like, it's like licking the microphone. Only $249. I'll even sign it myself for an extra $7,000. Maybe. I'll be interested in seeing how that progresses. Yeah. TikTok. It's not really my thing. First of all, I'm a little bit reticent, if that's the right word, in infringing upon children's spaces. You know, I don't go into a playground in the park and sit in the swings, because that's for children. In the same way, online, I don't go and post videos on TikTok because it's for kids and teenagers. I know a lot of adults do, but I don't, because it's not really my thing. It's just, it's not aimed at me. And I've seen how adults have ruined Facebook. Facebook was for kids. It was for young people, children, young adults. That's what Facebook was really aimed at when it started. You know, students. Then Facebook realised, firstly, this is my opinion, adults found it interesting. Secondly, adults, older adults, are the ones with the money. My washing machine is now spinning, so I don't know if you can. Anyway, I'm going to go. Thank you for listening. Remember, thank you for watching. Be kind to yourself because you deserve to be happy. Be gentle. Lots of love. Bye. I'll see you tomorrow.